I know I'm a little late to this video, but I am doing a mid-year wrap-up. I have all my books on a side stack here. You can see the shadow a little bit. On my Goodreads, it says I've read 23 books so far this year, and I'm a bit behind on my reading goal for the year, but that's okay. We're just gonna go through all the books. First is Drop Shot by Vi Denton. This was a great read. I'm very bad at remembering stuff. Like, I'll give a book 5 stars and then completely forget most of the things that happen. I just know it's a 5-star for me. I can't remember some things just off the top of my head, but I do remember having a fun time reading this book. It is a tennis romance. They become tennis partners and they just start practicing together, and that's kind of how they have their little romance. It was the perfect amount of emotional depth and fun, giggling, having a fun time. There is a miscommunication trope in here that got resolved pretty quickly, but it's still in there. If that is something that bothers you, I don't know if like reading it is the thing, you know. I then read The Mr. and Mrs. Mistake by Brighton Walsh, and this book had so much potential. It's like a childhood friends to like frenemies to lovers. I just felt that we got told they're childhood friends and we didn't get to see that, and I wish we got some of that, maybe some flashbacks or them learning to be friends as they are now in the future, because I still remember this because it was so like impactful to me. In the present time, they didn't really get that many scenes of them talking to each other as they are now and like getting to know their adult selves. I feel like they're chasing their childhood selves, you know, like they think they're gonna be compatible, but we don't really know that because we don't know their thoughts and feelings in the present time, if that makes sense. So unfortunately, I gave it a 2.5 stars, which I personally feel is very generous because I was expecting a lot more from it. Then we got People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry, and I read it because the movie was coming out. It's something I knew I would want to watch and I didn't want to spoil the book for myself, so I read it, really enjoyed it, gave it a 4 stars. I did feel a bit of a disconnect personally in the book with Alex because we didn't see any of the story from his point of view. It was all in Poppy's point of view. I wish we had seen in his head, because in the book, Alex is very nonchalant. Like, he doesn't really show his feelings outward. It kind of didn't really feel like it was a two-way relationship because I could see how much Poppy likes Alex and I could see it in her actions. Obviously, you can see Alex's actions, how much she cares about her, but I wish he said it more. Like, I feel like I'm a vocal person, or I want someone who's vocal, so not seeing that kind of was like, Other than that, it was a 10 out of 10 book. Yeah, I love the vibes. I love their chemistry. I love their friendship. Next, we have Wild Card by Stephanie Archer. This book was everything for me. This is the last book in the Vancouver Storm series, so I feel like that also had a great impact on how I rated this book, because I'm a big sucker for like the Fawn family and like the nostalgic, is that the right word? I hope it's the right word, of like reading the last book in like a Fawn family series, and like you get to see all the other previous characters in the last book, and I feel like that's always impacted my ratings. I did give it a 5 stars because the way Tate Ward, the way Coach Ward just like fully supports Jordan and just fully knows Jordan can like succeed in this and boost her confidence is everything, and the way Jordan is there for Tate and takes care of him because he's always just so used to taking care of everybody else. He has a daughter, and the way Jordan can see Tate gives so much of himself for his daughter and his players and not for himself, and Jordan is just there for him and takes care of him. It's like they're both what the other person needed. And I did get the art for this book, so thank you to Stephanie Archer and her team for the art. Heat a Rivalry by Rachel Reed. This book, again, read it because the show was coming out, so wanted to read the book. It is very, very spicy. It is a very spicy book, so if that's something you're, you know, iffy about. I was really iffy about the book in the beginning because their whole relationship was just purely physical. I hate romances like that. After like giving it some thought, like it really puts into perspective their situation, like the time period. A physical relationship is all they could have had, with the fact that they haven't come out. This is like in it was in 2016 era. Like, it was just not something that was very accepted, and it makes so much sense with their relationship being the way, like the progression of their relationship makes so much sense for their situation and everything. I did give it a 4.5 just because personally I just don't like purely spice, no emotional connection. You know, I still understand it from the perspective of like their situation and everything, but obviously, you know, everyone has their own preference. Next, I read The Fall Risk by Abby Jimenez. This is like a very short novella, and all I have to say is it was short and sweet. I really liked the premise of it. I don't remember any of the names, but the female main character, I don't know if she moved in or he had moved into this apartment complex, and they're kind of in the same area of it, and the floor just crashes down, and so they're stuck on the second floor together, and then they just like have a little friendship, kind of fall in love, and then the ladder gets fixed, and that's it. It was very short and sweet, and I really enjoyed it. Then I read The Long Game by Rachel Reed. It was just like even better than the first book. This book really broke my heart for Ilya, because Ilya goes through so much in this book. I don't want to spoil anything. He goes through so much in this book and it doesn't tell Shane any of it, and he's like suffering by himself, and Shane is worrying about useless things right now. Like, I understand being worried about stuff coming out and like trying to hide your relationship, but also you gotta understand what that's gonna be doing to Ilya, because Ilya is leaving his home. He's leaving Russia, which he wanted to do in the first place because Russia is literally toxic, but he wants to leave. He's leaving for Shane. He's switching to a Canadian team for Shane, and it's not even that good of a team. Like, he was in such a great team before, and now he's moving to a kind of bad team for Shane, but he's dealing with it because he wants to be closer to Shane, and Shane is not clocking that, and that really pissed me off. Like, Ilya, my heart broke for him, and I'm excited for the third book to come out. Then I read Two Can Play by Ali Hazelwood. This was such a fun and adorable read. It was a 3.5. I loved how he was obsessed with her. These two characters, I forget their names, but they are both like game developers. They met forever ago, and they're kind of like forced together, like forced proximity. They have to work together on this game, and she thinks he hates her, and they literally just seem compatible with each other. Like, they were very cute. It was a fun read. It was a short like audiobook by Ali Hazelwood that then got turned into a physical book. Then I read Downpour by Maggie C. Gates. This book was a 2.75. And that is being generous, because I could not tell you what this book was about. All I remember is it was so physical. There's like some kinky stuff in there. I did not like any of it. I think 2.75 was very generous. Just couldn't care less about that book right now. I'm pretty sure he was injured, so he needs like someone to take care of him, and she's taking care of him, and he is like in his head thinks he can't just be a normal human being anymore, and she's like trying to prove it otherwise, and it's just not my vibe. Then I read this book, which is a debut by Alexa Kaiser. It's His Darling Freckles, and this was such a great debut. It definitely has potential to be better. It just felt a bit predictable. I had a great time. It was a little slow burn. It is second chance, and they were dating or friends or something in their childhood, and as they meet in the present time, they're like in high school. They just have these little interactions, and they're not even like fully friends until like 60% of the way through the book. It takes them even longer to fully form a relationship. If you have read this book, you know Josh sucks. Okay, Josh is the female main character's stepdad. I don't remember if her mom and him were married or if they were just dating, but he sucked. Okay, if you know, you know, and that's all I'm gonna say on him. Then I read Quicksilver by Callie Hart. This book slayed. It was a little slow for me in the beginning, but maybe it was because I was having a hard time getting into books at this time. I thought the magic system was super cool, like the whole idea of like the silver and her being able to control it, and Kingfisher was so, I really enjoyed it. I remember I wanted to read this when it first came out, but a lot of the reviews were saying that his name Kingfisher is just so repetitive in the book, and he's always being called Kingfisher, 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 and it's like, can we maybe find another name, like a nickname or something to call him, because people are saying it just felt a bit repetitive. But honestly, I didn't really mind it, like, because in my head it's his name, but it's like, what can you do about it, you know? And then Ceres, I think is how you said her name. I really enjoyed her. I liked her progression in the story, her character development, and she became such a strong female main character. Then I read Striker by Anna Huang. I really enjoyed this book more than I was expecting. She was a ballerina and she got injured really badly, which kind of like ended her career. So now she's just teaching at a studio, and Asher and her brother have a little beef going on. I feel like that plot line though kind of fell off because the brother ended up leaving for like some trip thing, so he didn't even spend half the time they were supposed to practice together. I kind of like how Asher was there for Scarlett and really helped her like move forward with her, like get past her fear of the injury. It was a fun time. Then I read Spiral by Bal Cabra. I don't really know how to say the name, so if I butchered it, I apologize. The book was also really good. I gave it a 4.75. All I wrote down as a review was literally no notes. I love this, just not enough for a 5-star. Like I just didn't get the 5-star feels, and I remember reading it right after The Striker was a bit confusing for me because it's kind of like the same plot. She's a ballerina and he's a hockey player. So it's kind of like that ballerina aspect. But in this book, it's fake dating. They both strike up this deal that if they date, he kind of gets... They both get better reputation, basically. I'm a sucker for fake dating. What can I say? Then we have In Her Own League by Liz Tomforty. This book is kind of like the spin-off of the Windy City series, which the Windy City series is like one of my favorite, if not my, like the favorite sports romance series I have. He's Miller's dad from Caught Up, and let me just tell you, Monty finally got his happy ending since the first time we got introduced to him, since Miller's book. I've been wanting a Monty book and I'm so glad we finally got it. Reese, amazing character. I liked when we saw her in Play Along. She's the first like woman owner and they're just like, oh, she's a woman, she's a girl, she can't do it. And their whole relationship is just everything to me. And seeing the other characters in this book also hit home because it's like we're no longer ever gonna see this series. Like this is the end of the series. And then also Miller in this book supporting her dad with like the relationship with Reese and making some like teasing comments like, so is this my new mom? Like, is this my stepmom? You know, it was just so fun. I really love the book. Then we have a reread, The Deal by Elle Kennedy. I read this book in preparation for the off-campus show. I'm not really gonna say much on this because it's a reread, but it still remained at 5 stars for me. Off the high of The Deal, I decided to start The Graham Effect by Elle Kennedy. This is the book on Gigi, Hannah, and Garrett's daughter. Gigi reminded literally everything to me. There was no third act breakup, no notes. I loved seeing Hannah and Garrett snippets in here. I like seeing Garrett in dad mode. I feel like he's a great dad. Ryder and Gigi are both hockey players. Gigi is kind of struggling to get into the Olympics, which is like her dream, and Ryder's like helping teach her, and in that like whole situation they like start talking and like getting feelings for each other. And if y'all know that little plot twist at the end, literally my reaction reading it, I was just like, I loved it. I liked how there was no third breakup, like it just made sense for who they are. Then we have Reckless by Elsie Silver. I'm so glad I read Reckless. Like Theo Silva, the man that he is. Winter and Theo had like a one-night stand. She got pregnant, told Theo on the phone like, hey, you have a child. If you want to be in her life, you can. If you don't, that's fine, but I'm gonna have a child. He never replied. She had the kid. Years later, Theo comes back to town. He sees that she has a daughter, and then once it clocks to him, this is my daughter, he like steps up. Yeah, Reckless and Heartless are like this. Then we have Hopeless by Elsie Silver. I think after I finished Reckless, I was like, let me just, since I'm already in the space of this town, let me just finish the series. And I'm so glad I read this. I feel like I read these two books at the perfect time. Beau and Bailey's story just was everything to me. They're both like these two broken people. They both understand how the other feels. That's all I can say. It's marriage of convenience. Bailey's family just has a horrible reputation in town, and Beau is the opposite. Their family is loved by the town. Like the Eatons are Chestnut Springs. And so to kind of help her, I was like, let's get married, and he also gets like his family off his back, and they're just healed together, and it's everything for me. Then we have Almond by Won Pyung-sun. Again, if I butcher the name, I'm sorry. This book is a fictional story, literary fiction about Yunjae, I think was the guy's name, who has a brain condition called alexithymia. It makes it hard for him to be able to feel emotions like fear, anger. So he's kind of like clueless in the whole social aspect. Like he just answers what he thinks. Like he doesn't think about how it can impact other people. And it just was a very interesting story for me. Like this is the first time I read a book like this, and I really liked just seeing him go through this, grow to understand people and grow to live a normal life, and then him being by himself and learning to communicate with people and learning how to like just gaining these new emotions that he can't place. It was a really great book. Then we have Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. This book, I read it also in preparation for the show that was coming out. The book, I gave it a 3 stars. Like, it was an okay story for me. It just felt a little lacking for me, and I just felt like her thought process in the present time was very childish. She kept holding off telling him, which I understand, but it's like the whole point of coming here was to tell him and kind of like close that chapter of your life. So just tell him, like, it's not like the end of the world. I think the whole childish aspect that I saw that we got from Percy's perspective made me feel detached from them. Like, that's mainly my problem with it. It just felt childish. It felt, some of the things or reactions felt a bit unrealistic for me. And I was giving it the benefit of doubt. Maybe it's because this was Carly Fortune's debut book. That kind of changed the whole tone of the book. And this just made me excited for Charlie's book. Then we have Soul Searching by Lila Sage. This book was such a pleasant surprise for me because I was a bit iffy when I first read it, or when I first got into it, about the ghost aspect. For some reason I thought either one of them was going to be a ghost, which kind of confused me and made me not want to read it. But then I clocked that she can talk to ghosts and see ghosts, so I just gave it a chance and I really enjoyed it. Brady is coming to live in this town because he just got off a bad breakup and he wants a fresh start. Collins is coming back because her family's in trouble and she wants to come back and help, but she's also using that as an excuse to come without having been asked questions because she lost her job as a photographer and she's broke. So she kind of like failed to leave the town and is coming back and wants to use this as a like disguise of the real reason she's coming back. And Brady kind of helps Collins fall back in love with the town and realize that she's meant to stay here. And there was no third breakup, which I really enjoyed. The conflict had to do with her family and like that plot line. But I also felt this story really focused more on the romance itself than that kind of plot line. Like, we were told this happened and this issue was going on, but then that kind of went to the back burner and we didn't get any more information on that until towards the very end when the conflict started happening. I really enjoyed it. I liked the romance, I liked their banter and their chemistry, and they had great emotional development. Like, they had great communication. And then I read I Want to Die But I Want to Eat Tteokbokki. This book is a therapy memoir. It's literally just a conversation, pure dialogue of the author with her psychiatrist and just talking about depression, but like it's not like full depression, it's like this weird in between. I really enjoyed it. It really made me think about some stuff. I feel like I also have gone through some things that she's gone through, like emotionally, and so it just makes you think. I really enjoyed it. There is some like reflection at the end of the book of like the aftermath of the therapy and like how she's kind of lived after that. Last but not least, In Your Dreams by Sarah Adams. This is the last book in the When in Rome series. This is about Madison and James, and we had gotten like little glimpses of them since like the beginning of this series. I really liked their chemistry and banter. I really love them. They're just like meant for each other. Like, they weren't friends in the beginning. Like, it was mainly like, oh, this is my brother's best friend and this is my best friend's little sister type of thing. But then she is like failing in New York. Her life is low-key kind of, you know, and she calls him by mistake. And ever since that phone call and that small little conversation they had, they start becoming friends. And Madison's like, do I actually like him, or is he really just my brother's best friend? And James is like, finally, like, I want to be friends with her. Like, he has been yearning for Madison like never before. Okay, he literally made a restaurant just so she had an excuse to come back home. Like, he built this for her. Like, I just love seeing James be a yearner and so damn bad for Madison. Sarah Adams books are always so bingeable and adorable and like just so comforting, and they're super like easy, fast-paced books. And I loved seeing the dynamic of the family and the small town in this book. I liked how we got like glimpses of like all the other characters. I just love seeing all of them interact with each other. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. I will put just all the stats are on the screen for you guys who are interested in that kind of thing. And I hope you enjoyed. If you liked any of these books, leave it in the comments below. If you liked it, even if you didn't like it, like, what are your thoughts on it? I'm very curious, and I'll see you guys next time.